Welcome to Fenway Park. It's cloud covered, a little bit on the chilly side for Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox starters who started so well to begin the year have had a tough time the last time out, and that includes John Lackey.
Well, John Lackey had a fabulous start to the season for the Red Sox. In his first couple of outings, he was impressive with a 1.38 ERA. But look at the last two, starting with a game against the Yankees, in a game in which he gave up 4 home runs. That ERA is 9.82 in his last 2 starts. Now, John Farrell mentioned yesterday that it's nothing mechanical that's going on right now with John Lackey, but the fact is, cut fastball, there has been a little bit of a difference in that. It's almost as wide as his slider, and I'd like to see him cut down on that. So that's one thing we can look for tonight. It's nothing you're going to be able to pick up on TV, obviously, but the fact is they want that cutter to be a little bit smaller than what it has been, and that may help him against the Yankees tonight.
Not a lot of good highlights from last night's game for the Red Sox, but certainly one of them was the home run for David Ortiz. Big Papi with a home run last night and trying to pick up a milestone tonight. We'll tell you more a little bit later. We're back with more from Fenway Park right after this. Broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. As we mentioned off the top, the Red Sox starters have not been going very deep into games. As a result, the bullpen has been taxed, and should John Lackey not go deep into tonight's game, they're going to need another reliever. So the Red Sox make a change. They end up optioning Daniel Nava back to Pawtucket, a guy who hit 300 last year for the Boston Red Sox in the season, and this year hitting at 149 so far this year, struggling as he goes back to the Paw Sox. Alex Wilson comes up. He's been pitching great for Pawtucket. 8 innings, allowing no runs so far. With more, the third member of our broadcast team, Gary Streisky.
Yeah, Don, so the Red Sox having to satisfy a need rather than satisfy a want. They needed some right-handed relief in that bullpen. They, of course, wanted to keep Daniel Nava up here as part of the 25-man roster. They picked the former instead of the latter, of course, Alex Wilson being the 8th member of that bullpen. John Farrell saying earlier today that's not what he expects long-term, but for now, it's the best move for both parties. And our Geico quote of the day.
Given the number of innings by our bullpen the last 4 or 5 days, we needed to add another arm, some help out there, and also felt like we needed to get Daniel Nava going again. His struggles at the plate I think, are evident. We're trying to get him back to being the player of confidence that we've seen in the past.
Well, hopefully tonight John Lackey can go deep into this one as the Red Sox try to bounce back. We're back with first pitch from Fenway right after this. your Subaru dealers of New England. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Audi. Well, the fans make their way in. They're all bundled up for tonight's chilly night from Fenway Park, where the breeze is blowing from left to right at the moment as we get this game started. And the breeze may be a factor tonight. Well, with more as we get started tonight, Gary Streisky.
So a little bit of a festivities, guys, before we get started here. You would think after 26.2 miles he'd be tired, but that's not the case. Our guy, Medkev Lesgy, the marathon winner, threw out the first pitch tonight, jogged from the dugout to the pitching mound. I guess it's just kind of in his blood. I talked to him earlier, and he was amped up to do this, was excited to meet David Ortiz. That happened just a little bit ago, and the Red Sox hooking him up with a custom jersey, of course, fittingly 26.2, the number on the back. He threw his strike. I asked him about the marathon and when he knew that he won it. He said about mile 17 and really in the home stretch. It was the Boston faithful that really pushed him across that finish line, of course, after the Boston Marathon bombings last year. So he won it for the city. Guys, got a call from the president yesterday, but he was on Air Force One, so no selfies to speak of.
Well, congratulations to him, and great to see him at the ballpark tonight as the Red Sox have taken the field. So let's check out the New York Yankees starting nine. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off again in center field with Derek Jeter in his final season at shortstop batting second. Carlos Beltran is the DH tonight. Had a big night last night. Brian McCann does the catching in the cleanup spot. And Alfonso Soriano in left field. Mark Teixeira healthy and back in the Yankees lineup at first base with Brett Gardner in right field. Ryan Roberts at second base, bats eighth, and Kelly Johnson with his first appearance of the series getting the start at third base and batting ninth. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. John Lackey makes his fifth appearance of the year. 2 good starts and 2 tough starts. He is 2-2 with a 5.25 earned run average, 23 strikeouts to 7 walks, and opponents hitting at .292 against John Lackey. And where the tough start began was against these New York Yankees back on April 12th at Yankee Stadium. Lasted 5 2/3, gave up 6 runs with 4 home runs.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are currently 8th in the American League with 14 errors in 21 games. Brock Holt will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Mike Karp, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Grady Sizemore. And A.J. Brzezinski doing the catching for John Lackey.
Well, the umpiring crew tonight, the crew chief has played Jerry Davis calling the balls and strikes with Phil Cuzzy at first base. Brian Knight at second base, and Quinn Walcott is the umpire at third. Well, the game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum.
Buenas noches, amigos.
As we mentioned, a little bit on the chilly side tonight, and it should get a little chillier. 50 degrees to start the ball game tonight. Breeze out to right now at 23 miles per hour, and the forecast cloudy. We can certainly take that, and especially with the amount of rain that came through here last night and into this early afternoon in Boston. Well, mixed again tonight for Jacoby Ellsbury as he makes his way to the plate. Introduced last night and booed pretty loudly, but strangely at the end of the second inning when the Red Sox played the video, he was then cheered in a standing ovation, but then they went back to booing after he was introduced later. So it was back and forth.
Back and forth, but Jacoby had a terrific night last night, both at the plate and in the field.
Yeah, he leads it off here, hitting a cool .342 to begin the year. And the first pitch of the ball game is one hop, kind of explodes on Bogaerts, but he picks and throws and takes care of Ellsbury for the first out. A much different beginning to tonight's game.
That ball hit very well by Ellsbury, but the short hop that ends up in the glove of Xander Bogaerts. Ellsbury jumping on that first fastball, and that last hop kind of exploding on Bogaerts, but able to make the throw to first base to record the first out of the ball game.
Now 1 down for Derek Jeter. 298, no homers, and 4 runs batted in for Jeter. Jerry, you were talking about Lackey off the top, and is there anything we should look for that be any different from what we saw in the past?
Yes, his cut fastball. John Farrell said in his last couple of starts that cutter has been way too big. We have not seen one so far. It's been strictly fastballs from Lackey, but he says the cut fastball has almost looked like a slider. and it's a little bit too big for John right now, so they've tried to cut that down on a little bit between starts.
Well, dealing here with Derek Jeter, who has an 11-game hitting streak coming into this game tonight. 1-1 is on the ground to first base, ranging towards the second base side. Napoli gets it to Lackey quickly, and then he can run to the bag ahead of the arrival of Derek Jeter. 2 down.
Good job by both Napoli and Lackey on that play. Napoli giving it to him as early as possible, so John can make the catch, which was a little bit behind him, and then sprint to the bag, pick up the bag, and make the tag. Got a little bit of a late break off the mound, but still there in time to cover.
2 down here in the top of the first inning for Carlos Beltran. Beltran with a home run last night, his 8th of the year, and his 3rd against Boston. That ball was crushed.
How about Jerry Davis on that? The Lackey thought he had a strike, looked in, and Davis come out in front of the catcher Brzezinski and started yelling at Lackey.
1-0 pitch inside, 2-0. This is the breaking ball and gets it in there for a strike. Beltran's home run last night, the 5th of the year. Hit it in the 8th inning of last night's game and hits his curveball into center field. 2-out base hit and the first base run of the night for New York. Well, this Sunday there's a new pregame show in town, Nesson Clubhouse, where kids run the show. What's inside of baseball? Who works behind the green monster? What tip does Xander Bogaerts have for playing shortstop? Don't miss the Nesson Clubhouse premiere. It's Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Now Red Sox going into the shift here on Brian McCann. That's with 2 outs and Beltran at first base. That'll bounce in. No advance for Beltran. It gets back to the bag at first.
Brian McCann in his career against Lackey, 2 for 3, and those 2 hits, both home runs.
Last year in his final year in Atlanta, hit .256 under 2 games with the Braves. As Lackey falls behind 2-0. Look at the last 8 games for McCann. .393. Same general spot. And Lackey falls behind 3-0.
Where McCann has swung the bat against Lackey, he may have the green light on the 3-0 count even this early in the ballgame.
Bats now. Soriano waiting on deck. He takes a strike over the inside corner. Signed by the Yankees as a free agent December the 3rd to a 5-year contract. 3-1 is golf foul off to the left. Full count now. Beltran can get a start at first base with a full count and 2 down. McCann lines it foul.
What a difference in weather conditions, as you mentioned, Don. It rained all day long here in Boston. Then about between 4 and 5 o'clock, it started to clear, and that wind changed, and it is really howling out toward right field.
In the air to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. moving back. Will put it away to end the top of the first inning. Yankees get nothing. The Sox are coming up from the fence. Look at the Red Sox starting 9. Grady Sizemore leads it off in right field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. David Ortiz, the DH, with Mike Napoli at first base in the cleanup spot. Mike Karp in left field. A.J. Pierzynski does the catching bat 6 with Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. Brock Holt back at third base batting 8th, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field batting 9th. The starting pitcher for New York, brought to you by Nissan, Michael Pineda, makes his 4th start of the year, 2-1, but with a nifty 1.00 earned run average. 15 strikeouts to 3 walks. And against the Yankees, he beat them in 6 innings, 4 hits, and 1 run, striking out 7 in that outing and walking 2. So Pineda, after the better part of 2 years being on the disabled list, after the Yankees had acquired him, he is now starting to perform for the Yankees like they thought he would when they got him from Seattle. Grady Sizemore leading it off and taking strike 1.
Yeah, he really has been off to a sensational start. Great outing last time out against the Chicago Cubs, of course, against the Red Sox in Toronto. And if you saw our last game with Pineda, or that big glob of goo he had on his palm of his hand that he then moved to his wrist, no evidence of that so far in the game tonight.
1-1 pitch is to right field. Gardner on the run. He's not going to get there. One hops off the wall. Gardner running it down, but Sizemore headed towards third base. He's thinking 3 and will get there without a problem. He missed the cutoff man, but it's backed up by Teixeira, and it's a leadoff triple for Grady Sizemore.
Now that breaks an 0 for 13 for Sizemore. He gets the fastball from Pineda and hooks it. And hooks it hard down that right field line. Fastball down about knee high. That's exactly where lefties like it. And that ball put a charge into by Grady Sizemore. There's no doubt he's going for 3. Doesn't need help from a coach. Takes a peek by himself and in at third base standing up.
That was last triple, of course, when he was last playing regularly in 2011. At third base to begin this bottom of the first inning. Now Dustin Pedroia. He'll take it outside, ball 1. Well, last time the Red Sox faced Pineda early on in the game, did not have anything on the hand, but then as the game moved on, had at the base of his hand, of course, the pine tar situation, then moved to his left wrist later in the game. Red Sox did not make an issue of the situation, although today, before the game, John Farrell said that if he is going to use it, they're hopeful that he's a little bit more discreet than he was last time. Wind is absolutely howling here at Fenway Park. In the dirt, gathered by McCann, and it's 2-1 to Pedroia.
The last time the Red Sox faced Pineda in New York, he had a nasty, nasty slider. That slider right there bouncing to McCann, but that was a very good pitch for him against the Red Sox last time out.
Swing and a miss. 92 on the fastball, and it was by Pedroia.
For a guy that had shoulder surgery a couple of years ago, I mean, he has made a tremendous comeback. 92 with that fastball, about letter high.
Pedroia thought about it. They're going to check. Did he go? No. This is Phil Cuzzi, first base umpire.
Look from the side, and Pedroia does hold up on the swing that time.
David Ortiz waiting on deck. Nobody out. Sizemore the leadoff triple. Red Sox trying to jump out to a lead. A tough time doing that lately. On the ground, up the middle, they've got a lead. In from third base comes Grady Sizemore. The Red Sox strike first on top 1-0. An RBI single for Dustin Pedroia.
Now Pedroia now with a 6-game hitting streak. This ball is it looks like a little cut fastball away from him. He reaches out, covers the plate, and takes it back up the middle for the base hit. Sizemore scores, And you're right, Don. It's been a long time, it seems like, since the Red Sox have had a lead early in the ball game.
They got down 5-0 on Sunday, 6-0 on Monday. Last night they were down 4-0 early in the game, and tonight they score first, take a 1-0 advantage here in the bottom of the first inning for Big Papi. Ortiz takes strike one. I mentioned the milestone tonight, David. When this game becomes official, will tie Harold Baines for most games ever as a DH. 1,643 total games. The 0-1 is going to miss, and it's 1-1. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And again, his numbers as a DH. Average of 290, 450 doubles in that capacity. And tying Harold Baines tonight. Can break it tomorrow. 1-1 pitch coming to Big Papi. In the dirt, nicely picked on the backhand by McCann.
First changeup that Pineda has thrown tonight, and he bounces it. And a very nice play by McCann, backhanding it like a first baseman. That's really the only option he had. He didn't have time to slide over and try to block it.
Swing and a miss. Another fastball, and it's 2-2. Well, last night, David Ortiz able to get his 4th home run of the year. A blast last night. One of the highlights for the Red Sox. There weren't many, but this was certainly one of them. Well up over the bullpen. Napoli and Ortiz going back-to-back in last night's game. Yankees thinking about a double play here, keeping the shift to the infield. Maybe battling something in his eye right now.
Now that's the direction the wind's blowing in, right into the eyes of David Ortiz right now, the left-handed hitter.
Well, David, far and away the active leader in home runs against the Yankees. Fly ball to center field. Ellsbury going back at the wall to make the catch. Pedroia back to the bag at first. And the wind may have knocked that ball down for the first out here of the first inning.
I don't think there's any question about that. That ball was scorched by David Ortiz, and it gets into that crosswind and just knocks it down. With a fastball from Pineda right there, and Ortiz hits that ball very well. He thinks it may have a chance, but the wind knocks it down, and Ellsbury right in front of the wall to make the catch.
So, David, the first out here at the bottom of the first inning for Mike Napoli. Napoli able to get his 5th home run of the year last night. They shift on him on the left side of the infield for New York. As Pedroia crosses over to get back to the bag.
Pedroia so far this season, 1 steal on the year, has been caught 1 time. Wide open on the right side. Slider that gets away from Pineda right there.
Napoli fouls it off to the right. Now bring the family out to the ballpark for one of our Sox Savers games this season. Select April and May dates provide the lowest prices of the season, with tickets starting at just $10. To get your Sox Saver game tickets, visit www.redsox.com/tickets. Fans all bundled up tonight with the cool temperatures here at Fenway and the wind. On a hop again, and McCann blocks it.
McCann has been pretty busy here in the first inning behind the plate, blocking a couple of changeups from Pineda.
Well, triple get the inning started by Sizemore. Pedroia single to drive him in. David Ortiz with a long fly out to center field for the first out here at the bottom of the first inning. Another check on Pedroia. The lead has not been terribly large, but Pineda is certainly concerned with him at first base.
I think Pineda totally expecting Pedroia to run and try to get in scoring position here with the one out in the inning.
Napoli fouls it off. It evens the count at 2-2. Pineda in his first year with Seattle was very good in the month of April to begin his major league career. 6-2 with a 1.64 earned run average between the numbers that April and this April with the New York Yankees. This was named the AL Rookie of the Month in April of 2011. Line down the right field line, foul. Well, enjoy the rich taste of Farmhouse Blend coffee from Cumberland Farms. It's made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. One out, Dustin Pedroia at first base, and a count of 2-2 to Mike Napoli. And a check swing foul.
That might have been the best slider that Pineda has thrown so far here in the first inning. Pretty nasty down and away, and a good job by Napoli just to check his swing and foul it off. That is a strikeout slider right there.
Napoli in a broken bat bloop to shallow right center. It's going to fall in for a hit. First to third goes Pedroia as Gardner runs it back into the infield. A bloop to right. Napoli will take it. Third hit of this first inning for Boston.
You know, Don, we've made a lot about Napoli and his two-strike hitting and changing his approach. Well, I think that time it was by accident. It was a pretty good slider again, right toward the end of the bat. Shatters the bat, but it's able to drop into the right side. And Pedroia easily goes first to third. Pedroia knows right away nobody's going to make a play on that, so he doesn't even need help from a third base coach. He just goes on his own. So the Red Sox a little something going here in the first inning tonight.
So first and third, one out, and Mike Carp coming up as Carp gets started left field tonight. 250 with no homers and 2 runs batted in. Last start he made, he had a multi-hit game. That was against Baltimore on Friday night. He was 2 for 4 and has recorded hits in 4 of his 5 starts this season. And gets the start here tonight in Game 2 of the series.
Carp and Brock Holt, the only 2 Red Sox hitters who have not faced Pineda in their career.
Fouled off to left. Part of the reason for that was Carp was a teammate of Michael Pineda's in Seattle at the time. And Pineda burst on the scene. Carp over his last 7. A count of 1-1. And a pop-up into shallow left. In comes Soriano. All the way back towards the infield to make the catch. No chance for Pedroia to tag and try it. He does draw the throw. But there are 2 outs here in the first inning.
See Soriano right there telling Jeter this wind is blowing so hard that maybe he shouldn't give up on a ball like that, because Jeter actually only had to take maybe 3 or 4 steps back to make that catch, and Soriano had to come a long way because it got pushed back toward the infield. You'll see Jeter go over to cover third base after he sees that pop-up right there. He'll peel off as Soriano has it under control. But there's Soriano telling Jeter, no, look, don't give up on those pop-ups because this wind is howling too much.
2 down, Napoli at first base. And Pedroia at third base. A.J. Pierzynski, the batter. 25th pitch of this first inning for Michael Pineda. There's a strike, 1-1. AJ did not swing at the first or the second pitch in this at bat.
You got to be on your game, Don, when he gets to the plate. I mean, you got
Yes.
to be ready to go right out of the chute.
Very aggressive. Takes ball 2, 2-1. And 3 hits in the inning for the Red Sox. The leadoff triple by Sizemore. RBI single by Pedroia. Napoli with a single to right field. First and third. Run in. 2 down in the inning. So Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. Pierzynski up the middle. Ranging is Jeter. Can't play it. Run scores. Heading for third is Napoli. And reaching is Pierzynski as the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead.
I think if Jeter makes this play, he's got a chance to get Pierzynski at first base, but it kind of goes back toward his left a little bit and right underneath the glove. And from that position there, I believe if he comes up with that ball, he's got a chance to get Pierzynski at first base. Probably go as a base hit, I would imagine, but we'll have to wait and see what the scoring is.
They have not yet ruled. And they have. It is a base hit. So a hit for Pierzynski and an RBI as the Red Sox on top 2-0.
Pierzynski picks up his 7th RBI of the season.
Napoli at third, Pierzynski at first, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. 271, the home run, 4 runs batted in. Up and in for ball 1. Let's take a look at our Chevy key player, Xander Bogaerts, on a 6-game hitting streak coming in. 6 for 20 during the streak, includes a home run and 4 runs batted in. '30th pitch of this first inning coming up here for Pineda, facing the 7th member of the Red Sox to bat here in the inning. And Bogaerts hits a fly ball to center field. Wynn takes it to right center, but Ellsbury will get over to get it and to end the inning. Red Sox grab a pair of runs. We'll get your ballpark tour. We return 2-0 Boston.
century mark. So fittingly, our Scion TC poll asks, besides Fenway Park, which is your favorite? What is the best ballpark? Sox 1 for AT&T Park in San Francisco, Sox 2 for Camden Yards in Baltimore, Sox 3 PNC Park in Pittsburgh, or Sox 4 Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. Text your answer to 536-536. Text help if you need it, NESN.com/terms for all the legal stuff, guys.
All right, Gary, as Alfonso Soriano, the swing and a miss as he is quickly down 0-2. I'd have to go with AT&T Park, I think, on that one, Jerry.
Actually, I was busy. I didn't see the poll.
You were tied up with other stuff. The poll as Soriano strikes out. His first strikeout for John Lackey. First out of the second inning.
Lackey outside again with the fastball, and the swing and miss by Soriano. Soriano only a 195 average in his career against John Lackey.
One down here in the second inning for Mark Teixeira. The poll tonight, I already know the answer to what you would answer. The other ballparks besides Fenway Park that would be your favorite. Camden Yards was on there, so I know that's your pick.
Yeah.
And I know Wrigley Field is not.
No, Wrigley Field is not one of my picks. PNC Park is very nice in Pittsburgh. AT&T in San Francisco, of course, have only been there one time.
Strike three call, and Lackey off to a good start here in the second inning.
Yeah,
Back-to-back Ks.
Lackey right now all over the strike zone. Baczynski sets up away. That's exactly where he gets that fastball, and back-to-back strikeouts on fastballs from Lackey.
Two down. Brett Gardner makes his way to the dish. Lackey gave up a hit in the first inning, but that has been it so far. And back-to-back Ks here in the second inning. Gardner getting the start tonight. Did not start in last night's game. Came on defensively in last night's game in left field for Alfonso Soriano. We saw Ichiro get the start last night. He's on the bench tonight. High fastball and a swing and a miss. 1-1.
Lackey's velocity about 92 with the fastball. 91, 92.
On the outside corner.
Well, if he gets that pitch all night, he'll be in good shape. Fastball just off the outside edge, but going in Lackey's direction.
On the ground, foul towards the photographer's well. Hangs at 1-2. Trying to come in. And he gets him. Strikes him out. Strikes out the side. Soriano, Teixeira, and Gardner all down by way of the K.
Back at Fenway, a 2-0 Red Sox lead, and John Lackey very strong in the second inning. 3 strikeouts, Soriano, Teixeira, and Gardner, and all 3 of them with John Lackey fastballs. Teixeira on the outside corner, and Gardner a fastball up about letter high inside.
A much better start tonight for the Red Sox, both hitting and pitching out of the gate. As Brock Holt takes strike 1. Red Sox third baseman bats out of the number 8 spot. And so far so good, hitting at .389 since joining the Red Sox. He was hitting at .380 in Pawtucket at the time of his recall. Did he go? No. As they check with Quinn Walcott, third base umpire. In the air to left center field. Ellsbury moves over and makes the catch for the first out here of the second inning. I want to remind you to watch Sox in 2 every game day at midnight. Presented by Kiel Vodka. Stay balanced.
Well, looks like we found some pine tar again.
We found ourselves some pine tar once again.
It's an unusual spot, a little different.
He is creative. I will give him that. He went from the hand last time
to the wrist,
to the back of the wrist,
to the neck.
Now to the neck. It was a 1-0. And the pitch inside, 2-0 the count. How is it that most pitchers, and granted most pitchers do this, do a better job of hiding it?
That's a question you would have to ask a pitcher, Don. I really don't know. I mean, I used to use a lot of pine tar in my glove.
Yes.
And there was some pitchers who would request that I use a little more pine tar in my glove.
In the air to left field. Soriano, the wind's going to play with it. Now he's going to come back to make the catch for the second out. Top of the order now for Grady Sizemore. Got it started for the Red Sox with a triple and scored the game's first run at the bottom of the first inning. Sizemore takes strike 1. Bounce straight up for him in the infield and the outfield here on Sizemore. What's the news today? That Daniel Nava was optioned out. A very tough beginning for Nava, and I imagine that was a pretty tough conversation for John Farrell. Nava had such a great year last year and such a big part of the championship team.
Yeah, it is difficult to make a decision like that, but you've got to live in the moment. And right now, Daniel Nava is having a very, very difficult time. And as tough as it is for him to accept, I'm sure that he is going to have to go back, to get that stroke together at the minor league level.
Alex Wilson coming up as Farrell's now coming out. And we're going to see what he's going to do here.
He's going to check Pineda.
And he's calling Jerry Davis, home plate umpire. And I think he was kind of waiting to see whether this would pop up again. And this time it's tough to deny. All over his neck.
Yep.
Now they're going to check. One time's one thing. Twice is another.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing he would try it again.
Will they eject him immediately?
He should be.
They're going to check the neck. No, he's going to check the ball. He should check the neck. One side, around the other. Jerry, there you go.
There you go. They got it. You found it.
Ejected. So the Yankees are going to get into this pen a lot earlier than they anticipated. Red Sox on top 2-0. David Phelps will be coming in here. He'll get as long as he needs to get ready, as Pineda has been ejected in the second inning. We will step aside with the pitching change now for the ejection of Pineda. That John Farrell called him out on, and he was not there to begin the game, but very much there in the second inning of work for Pineda. John Farrell came out to let the umpire know, home plate umpire crew chief Jerry Davis. After hearing what John Farrell was telling about it being all over his neck, they checked the ball, the glove, and then they checked the neck, and it was game over at that point.
I think what tipped off John Farrell is, well, obviously the last outing in New York. And if we could roll it back a little bit, we saw David Ortiz coming out of the Red Sox clubhouse. Now, he'd obviously been watching the game on TV and notified Farrell about the pine tar and where it was located. And that's when John made his move to the home plate umpire. Joe Girardi obviously not happy, but, it's the second time. And really, when you think about the first time and it got so much publicity, why would you do it again?
And you have to think,
why would you glob it again like that?
No, I know, but and knowing Joe Girardi in this situation, that after it happened last time, it was so obvious last time, you have to think that he would go to Pineda and say, okay, you may be able to use it someplace, but do not make it obvious in any way, shape, or form.
In every case that we have seen, it has been very obvious, obviously, and that's not to say that other pitchers don't do the same thing.
Absolutely. But it is the obvious nature in which it has been just kind of put out there.
We'll see. We'll roll back and watch David Ortiz come out of the Red Sox clubhouse, and he's got a kind of a smile on his face, and I think he's letting everybody know that the fact of where it is, and he's just laughing at it right now. And here comes John Farrell out to make his move. So kind of expected it. John Farrell kind of expected it, as he mentioned this afternoon in his press conference, as you highlighted, Don.
He had said that hopefully he would be more discreet about it, and he was not, as it turns out. So kind of forced the hand in this instance. David Phelps given as long as he needs to get ready as he comes into this game. Phelps' 9th appearance without a record of 4.66 earned run average, 12 Ks to 4 walks, and opponents hitting at 194 against him. Grady Sizemore with a count of 1-2 that Phelps will inherit here with 2 outs in this second inning. And the Red Sox getting 2 runs in the first inning to take a 2-0 advantage. Pineda ends up going an inning and 2/3. He threw 40 pitches. And that first inning was not terribly effective, a little bit different, didn't have the control that he had last time out. Now, Joe Girardi, I think, thinks that this camera to his right was part of the problem, so in between innings he decided he would move it, and then he tried to disconnect it.
Well, actually, I think what Joe was doing there, to be quite honest with you, it was kind of pointing down toward the runway.
Ah, I see.
And I think that he did not want that, obviously, following his pitcher back up to the clubhouse, and I think that's what Joe was doing, was spinning it around to get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's a good call, Joe.
Yeah.
So 2 down here in the second inning. Phelps is ready. And Sizemore coming up. A triple for Sizemore in the first inning. Came around to score the game's first run. One ball, 2 strikes, a count to Sizemore. Inherited here by David Phelps. And a swing and a miss. So 1 pitch for Phelps to end the second inning. We are through 2. The Red Sox have a 2-0 advantage. Back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox have a 2-0 advantage. So get ready for the top half of the third inning. And John Lackey, a long wait back out there, had a very good second inning as he retired the side in order and struck out the side in succession. Soriano, Teixeira, and Gardner. Lackey posted to a 2-0 advantage, and it's 8-9-1 for New York. Brian Roberts, former Orioles second baseman, takes a pitch up and away. 180 average in a Yankees uniform so far. Roberts had a couple of hits here last night, going 2 for 5. Only in 77 games last year for Baltimore, hitting at .249. Missed nearly 3 months with a right hamstring strain. Sharply hit foul. Kelly Johnson waits on deck. 1-2 is eating up. Holt at third base, kicks off him and heads to short. Roberts is aboard. That ball exploded on Brock Holt at third base.
Yeah, that's an absolute bullet there by Brian Roberts to third base, and Brock Holt goes to one step across, and the ball looked like it came back to him. It's like he had the glove in proper position, but the ball came back toward his head, and it just able to knock it down. By knocking it down, it may have saved a double.
So base hit for Brian Roberts. And Kelly Johnson tried to bunt.
He's still in the batter's box when the ball hit him the second time.
Johnson batting out of the number 9 spot for the Yankees. And a ground ball left side. Bogarts will go to second, and they get the lead runner. Had to go to his right into the third base side is short. So 6-4 on the force out for the first out of the inning. Well, in between innings here at Fenway Park, the Wally wave, which is definitely growing out there. It now includes not only Wally out there, but we saw some of the bleachers as well.
If I might make a suggestion about the Wally wave, it would be that it should now maybe move down to one of the grandstand sections where you have more people to get involved. You could probably get a whole section of people, you know, doing the Wally wave. I know, Don, you were doing it last night, right after the game.
You can't help yourself. I mean, it just becomes kind of contagious, you know.
I know.
Ellsbury grounded to short in the first inning, 0 for 1. Down 0-2. Johnson gains his lead at first, held on by Napoli. Jeter on deck with one out. Runner goes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Throw down is not going to be in time. So Johnson does steal second base. Strikeout of Jacoby Ellsbury, the 4th K of the night for John Lackey.
A good curveball from Lackey to pick up the strikeout. Now they try to strike him out, throw him out, but not quite in time. At second base as Johnson picks up his first steal of the season. Throw a little bit high, and Xander Bogaerts tries to reach down and slap down that tag, but it's not in time.
2 down, runner at second, and Derek Jeter, the batter, grounded out to first base in the first inning. Fouled off to the right, 1-1. Well, tomorrow night the Bruins take on the Red Wings in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Don't miss Big Bad Bruins at 7 p.m. Jack, Brick, and Jamie will call all the action starting at 8 only on NESN. Two outs here in the third inning with Johnson at second base and Jeter on the right side. Jeter coming in with an 11-game hitting streak. Saw Jeter actually sit 2 of the 4 games that the Red Sox played the Yankees in New York. 2-1 is a foul tip into the catcher's mitt. Pierzynski fires to second base, and back safely is Johnson. Secondary lead was huge. Pierzynski noticed and fired to second.
And straddling that bag was Bogarts, and Johnson had to slide right underneath to get back to the bag. There's the swing and miss. There's that big secondary lead. He's halfway to third base almost. Pierzynski just waiting for a middle infield to get to that spot so he could make a throw.
Swing and a miss. That one's by Jeter, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. 5 Ks for Lackey. 2-0 lead for Boston.
Wrigley Field turns 100 today. A guy who's roamed left field in both now Fenway and Wrigley. That guy right there, Alfonso Soriano. I caught up with him earlier in the Yankees clubhouse, and he was actually watching the game as the Cubs hosted the Diamondbacks. I asked him, which field do you prefer? He actually went with Fenway, guys. Said the left field is a whole lot bigger, and the warning track and the wall, of course, is a whole heck of a lot more forgiving. The warning track at Wrigley apparently just 2 to 3 feet. He says he's ran into that brick wall quite a few times, and it certainly doesn't feel good.
Now, Soriano, of course, a big pickup for the Yankees last year from the Cubs and returning to the organization with which he began. And a big part of what the Yankees have been able to do this season so far. Soriano manning the monster in left as Pedroia fouls it off to the right, down 0-2. Pedroia single to drive in the Red Sox first run in the first inning. Chop foul, hangs it 0-2. Phillips last worked on Sunday at Tampa Bay against the Rays, going an inning and a third. He was first out of the pen as Joe Girardi tries to piece together the rest of this game for New York after Michael Pineda ejected from this game in the second inning. The pine tar visibly on his neck. And checked by the home plate umpire and crew chief, Jerry Davis. 1-2, low and away, 2-2.
And with that automatic ejection also comes a suspension for Pineda. And I guess that the number of games is delivered by the league.
David Ortiz on deck. Then we'll see Mike Napoli as part of this bottom of the third inning. On the ground to short. Jeter slides to his right. Low throw, and it's not dug out by Teixeira. So Pedroia reaches.
Now there's a couple of plays so far in this game that Jeter normally makes. The ball that was up the middle by Brzezinski, and now this throw's going to bounce, and that's usually a pick that Teixeira makes at first base. That backhanded pick like that, but he can't come up with this one. So that should go as an error on Derek Jeter, the shortstop.
It is an error in the first miscue of the contest, as Pedroia is aboard at first base. David Ortiz now coming up. David flied out to the warning track in center field. A ball that on a warm summer night would be somewhere in the bleachers, but not tonight. Wind knocked it right down. Jacoby Ellsbury made the catch in front of the wall out there in center. Breaking ball in there for strike one. Toss to first, and back is Pedroia. The lead not terribly large. Phelps last year made 12 starts for New York. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, always has the best seats at the lowest prices. Ace Ticket has your seats to all Boston Bruins playoff games. Right now, Ace Tickets is Game 5 this Saturday at the Garden. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Phelps last year 6-5 with a 4.98 earned run average. 22 total games last year. 12 of them were starts. Ended up on the DL for the better part of 2 months with the right forearm strain. 1-2.
David got away with one there. That fastball, pretty good pitch from Phelps on the inside part of the plate. After going away early in the at-bat, they try to put him away with a fastball in. And Ortiz gets the benefit of the call.
It's tied up here on a pitch. It's headed for the corner again.
Yeah, that's pretty smart swinging in that time, because I think if you take two in the same spot like that, one of them is going to be a strike. That time a little bit lower, and Ortiz fouls it off.
Down and in for ball 3, full count. Roy reaching on the error, throwing error by Derek Jeter to begin this bottom of the third inning. Ortiz now, Napoli next. Red Sox batting here in the bottom of the third inning. Runner goes. Ortiz lines it into right field for a base hit. Pedroia's headed for third. He'll get there without a problem. First and third, nobody out in the Boston third inning.
Well, so far in this game, the Red Sox swinging the bat like it's 75 degrees out. Ortiz going down to get a breaking ball that time. That's down in the zone, actually maybe a little below the knees, and rifles it in a right field for the base hit. You see Pedroia off with the pitch. He'll easily make third base. And with nobody out, at first and third situation for the Red Sox.
So Pedroia at third base, Ortiz at first. Mike Napoli gets his second at bat of the night. He singled to right field in the first inning. Can't stay off the high fastball and fouls it back. Good numbers against Phelps in his career, and includes a home run. Phelps jumping ahead here, 0-2. Napoli fouls it off back into the grandstand off to the right.
You see Napoli clearly that time trying to take the ball the other way with 2 strikes on him. It was a breaking ball that time inside, and still trying to go to the opposite field. Man on third base trying to make contact to get him in.
In the dirt gathered by McCann. In the air to right field. Gardner on the move towards the track. He will not make the catch, and it's a fair ball. Goes down the line. He doesn't know where it is. As one run is in, here comes Ortiz. They're going to try to score them all. Where is the ball? Gardner would love to know, as everybody comes around and scores. Down there to check it out is Phil Cuzzy, the first base umpire, and they cannot find the ball. In the seats, apparently.
Well, this is weird. Where did the baseball go? I didn't see it bounce into the seats. Let's take another look. Oh, yes, it did. And Gardner takes off like it got by him, and he's heading back toward the wall, but you can see it land in fair territory and then bounce up into the seats. So that's the correct call by the umpires. It's a ground rule double, so Napoli will be at second base. They may have to bring Ortiz back to third base. And clearly the ball landing in fair territory and bouncing up in the seats for the ground rule double. But how about that job by Napoli again with 2 strikes on him? Just making contact with that man at third base to get the run home. And gets the bonus, gets the double. There's a swing again by Napoli, again reaching out on a breaking ball, just trying to make contact with that man at third base so something positive can happen, get him in. Well, he gets the ground rule double.
He is 2 for 2 in the game. It's second and third to run in. Red Sox have a 3-0 advantage, and now McCann headed out to talk to Phelps. Rest of the left side of the infield anyway coming in for the conversation. Well, Jeter and Johnson in there. Carp flied to left, his first time up back in the first inning. Center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury over towards right center. Good sized gap out there in the left center for Carp. In the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike now to Mike Carp.
See the infield right now with nobody out, not all the way in. They're back a little bit closer than double play depth, and that's because Ortiz is at third base and doesn't run very well, so they don't have to come all the way in, and this gives them a little bit more protection against a ball that might scoot through and let 2 runs home.
Carp with a swing and a miss, a high fastball, 1-2. Brzezinski waiting on deck. Still nobody out here in the Boston third inning. Carp with a swing and a miss and a pitch in the dirt, so McCann's got to throw him out, and he does. It's the second strikeout for Phelps since coming in, and the first out of the inning.
Yeah, both strikeouts for Phelps have come on the breaking ball. This is a pretty good one down in the dirt. Chased by Carp. Nice play by McCann to backhand that ball and throw Carp out at first base. So now 1 out, and the infield will pretty much stay in the same place. Maybe come in a few more steps, but you don't have to come in all the way to the grass because, again, of the speed of Ortiz.
A.J. Brzezinski singled the center field in the first inning. He's 1 for 1 as one of now 6 hits compiled by the Red Sox tonight. A swing and a foul tip for strike 1. This whole inning got started on the Derek Jeter throwing error. Single by Ortiz, a ground rule double for Mike Napoli that scores the Red Sox third run. Ortiz at third, Napoli at second with 1 out. One and 2. Now, the Red Sox Foundation helps kids play ball for fun, for health, and for life. One way they do that is through the RBI program, reviving baseball in inner cities. We salute our friends at HB Hood who support the Red Sox Foundation. Play ball for life. Not a huge sample size, but a home run for A.J. Brzezinski against Phelps. Phelps backing off again as he and McCann go back and forth.
Chess match going on here between Phelps, McCann, and Brzezinski. Is it possible to have a 3-way chess match?
I don't think so.
No.
Down and in, 2-2. Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck here with 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. Same spot, full count. Ball 4, and he loses Brzezinski. First walk given up by Phelps will load the bases for the Red Sox. Well, fans, make sure you never miss another Red Sox game. Download the Red Sox schedule now by visiting NESN.com/schedule to import the 2014 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. Bases loaded, 1 out, a run in for the Red Sox here in the 3rd inning. And here's Xander Bogaerts. Xander flying out to center field in the 1st inning. So he takes strike 1. Six-game hitting streak coming in for Bogaerts into tonight's action. And a fly ball to short right. Gardner coming in will make the catch. Ortiz will draw the throw but remains at 3rd. 2 down.
Here's where the Red Sox really need a clutch 2-out base hit. You know, that has been elusive for them all season long, and it comes at a big time of the ball game. They've got a 3-0 lead right now, and you get a 2-out base hit right now, it might be a 5-0 ball game.
So a big spot here for Brock Holt, off for a 7-for-19 start in a Red Sox uniform this year. Flied out to the center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury in the 2nd inning. John Lackey's worked the first 3 innings, has thrown 42 pitches tonight. 5 strikeouts through the first 3 for Lackey. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Ortiz at 3rd, Napoli at 2nd, Pierzynski at 1st. Tap foul, 1-2. Bouncing in and bouncing away. Here comes Ortiz. He'll get in. Red Sox lead it 4-0. Phelps bounces out into the plate. It kicks off McCann and away. And Ortiz comes in with a 4th Red Sox run.
Well, 2-out base hit or a wild pitch. That'll do also. Breaking ball here by Phelps that bounces. It just deflects off McCann. He can't do anything about it. And Ortiz able to come in and score. Take him any way you can get him, and that time it's via the wild pitch.
Inside for ball 3, full count.
Poppy showing his speed coming down on that wild pitch.
Look out. Pitch up and in, and Holt down to first base. 2nd walk of the inning given up by Phelps. Bases reloaded. Murray Rothschild coming out.
Great 2 count. Fastball underneath the elbows. And Brock Holt makes his way down to first base. So the Red Sox have picked up 1 with the wild pitch and looking for another something else here with 2 outs. As Jackie Bradley Jr. comes to the plate once this meeting is over. Got a lot of tweets, Don, about there is such thing as 3-way chess.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't know that. 3 chess, how to play.
Well, Jackie Bradley Jr. flying to left his first time up. Comes to bat here, the 8th member of the Red Sox to bat in the 3rd inning. So far, 2 have scored. Bases loaded opportunity for Bradley. Napoli at third, Pierzynski at second, Holt at first. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
After missing with the breaking ball, back to the fastball for Phelps. And Bradley with that uppercut swing underneath it.
Bradley has batted 3 times with the bases loaded this season, 1 for 3. A couple of RBIs. Take strike 2. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Phelps up to 41 pitches in his outing. He's now thrown more pitches than the starter for Joe Girardi tonight, Michael Pineda. Did in an inning and 2/3. Pineda had thrown 40 before he was ejected from this game. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Bases filled with Red Sox. 2 down in the inning. Strike 3 call. Well, the Red Sox gather a couple of runs and take a 4-0 lead. Eastern Bank, which has no minimum balance or monthly fees. It's why at Eastern Bank, here you're first. Now back at Fenway Park, so far so good for the Red Sox. They enjoy a 4-0 lead. They get 2 in the first, 2 in the third. And so far so good for John Lackey, who has 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. Carlos Beltran leads it off and takes a pitch up high.
Now, Don, we're getting a lot of tweets about how many games Pineda gets for that suspension, and then a lot of people are saying 10 games, but I don't believe that's true.
No, it's not automatic. In fact, there is no automatic. This is a ground ball right side with a shift on. Pedroia's throw is in time.
The 10-game suspension is definite in the minor leagues, and I think that in this case it'll be up to the league if there is a suspension for Pineda, but it's immediate ejection for the game. There probably will be a fine, I would imagine, too.
I think there will be a suspension based on the past track record for Major League Baseball.
You would guess somewhere in one start.
It was 8 games last time. Joel Peralta for the Tampa Bay Rays was ejected in a game against the Nationals 2 seasons ago, and that was 8 games at the time, which would be, as you said, 1 start. But there is no automatic.
It's not automatic 10 games. That's in the minor leagues.
Or mandatory penalty that comes along with an ejection, that type of ejection. One out here in the inning for Brian McCann. Red Sox still in the shift. They just stay in it. They were in it for Beltran. Now they're in it for McCann. And he'll take the strike. Now they're switching it up. Brock Holt comes over. Right side of the infield. Bogart's alone on the left side. Fouled off to the left out of play. 2-2. This one fouled off to the left again. 2-2. Well, the umpires last time, Jerry, they were pretty clear after the game. They said, well, the Red Sox didn't call it to our attention, so we didn't do anything about it, which was kind of an interesting take. Thought you didn't really need to have the other team make a point of it if it was that obvious. Out to left center field, and the Carp on the move and won't get it. Wind knocked it down. Carp couldn't get there. And it falls in, and reaching it first is Brian McCann.
Most of McCann's hits in this series so far have gone to the opposite field. Carp looked like he had control of this, but then the ball just eludes the glove and drops in. Looked like he took a little step to the side, then decided to come in, and by that time it was too late to make the play.
One out. McCann now at first base. Alfonso Soriano was a strikeout victim in the second inning. Well, tonight's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Since July 26, 2013, Alfonso Soriano has hit 21 home runs, the most in the majors in that time span. So that's when he became a member of the New York Yankees. This time is called. The 0-2 now to Soriano. Mark Teixeira waiting on deck as the Yankees bat here in the top of the 4th inning. John Lackey was roughed up by these New York Yankees in his last outing to the tune of 4 home runs. A game in which he lasted 5 2/3 at Yankee Stadium and gave up 6 runs altogether. Fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Be one-on-one with other Red Sox fans for a chance to win the Preplay Triple Crown. Soriano strikes out for the second time tonight. This is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball as Lackey reaches back for a little extra away that time.
Yeah, both times that Lackey has struck out Soriano tonight has been on a fastball away, and that time way off the outside edge. And you can see Soriano none too happy with himself about swinging at that pitch.
Second time he's down by way of the K, and 6 strikeouts for Lackey in his outing. Teixeira rips this foul out ahead. They struck out looking in the second inning. In there for strike 2. Fastball in that inside corner. Lackey gets him again. Second time Teixeira struck out. 7 Ks for Lackey. 4-0 lead for Boston. Free checking and a dust-free home. Another neat idea from Eastern Bank. We're here your first. Details at easternbank.com/clean. Back at Fenway Park, the Red Sox with a 4-0 advantage, out hitting the Yankees 6-3 on a windy night at Fenway. Welcome to your first game here at Fenway.
All bundled up too. Got the Red Sox hat on, the shirt.
Top of the Red Sox order here against David Phelps, back out there again. Phelps has gone an inning and a third. And gets a strike over the outside corner to Sizemore. Ready to get the game started off right for the Red Sox. Bottom of the first inning, he tripled and scored the game's first run. Then he struck out swinging in the second inning. First batter that Phelps faced. Foul off to the left, out of play. We'll see how long Phelps goes in this game. Nobody currently warming in the Yankees pen. Nearing 50 pitches of relief here for Joe Girardi. Again, he worked an inning and a third his last time out. There is strike 3, and the second time that Sizemore has struck out tonight. It is the third K for Phelps. Saturday morning, you want to check out Dining Playbook. And, Jerry, this is my view today. Had the chance to be with Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson for Dining Playbook, which will appear on Nesson at 9 a.m. on Saturday. The big cook today, Jerry. We did a little shrimp scampi. There is the raw shrimp to be cooked. It does get cooked.
I understand it went very well for you today.
Had a good day today. You also hear from Bruin Sean Thornton, who has his 5 favorite hangouts, and I'll tell you all that on the Dining Playbook, which will be Saturday at 9 a.m.
And you didn't even have to bring your own pots and pans.
No, I didn't.
They had them for you.
They had pots and pans there. It was outstanding. I did go with the apron, though, as you suggested. It was a much better idea because I did have the suit on.
And I think across the front of it said Donatangelo.
That is correct. Yes, that is my personal apron. Pedroia to right field. It's going to get in for a hit. Racing over is Gardner. Pedroia will take a wide turn, but he'll hold on. It's a 1-out single. His second hit of the night.
Now Pedroia on the rise, and I think it's no coincidence that wrist's probably feeling better for him, and the hits are coming now in bunches. He's 2 for 3 in this ball game tonight. Gets a fastball middle in and takes it to the opposite field for the base hit. Line drive base hit for Pedroia. I sent in a picture today to the broadcast. I don't think it'll be used, but I sent in a
picture.
You? Yeah. What I was doing today, I was hanging out with some of my friends.
1 out, 1 on. David Ortiz will take strike 1 over the outside corner. David's third at bat of the night. He is flied out to the warning track in center, single to right, and scored a run. Scored on the wild pitch worked by David Phelps last inning. We'll talk about action in the Yankees pen as Ortiz did not go. And action has just now commenced as former Red Sox lefty Matt Thornton up in the pen. Outside for ball 2. Phelps keeping everything away from David Ortiz and has fallen behind him now 3-1. And the dirt ball 4, and Ortiz will make his way down to first base. That is the third walk given up by Phelps since coming into the game. And it's now first and second with 1 out. Joe Girardi back on the phone again. Check on Thornton in the pen as he continues to warm. Napoli's 2 for 2 with single and a double. He has driven in a run. And he chops it softly down the third baseline. Kelly Johnson throws on the run and in time to get Napoli. The runners move up. Pedroia to third, Ortiz to second on the ground out. 2 down. Well, baseball is back in season, so gather 20 or more of your friends, family, and coworkers for a group outing at Fenway and secure exclusive access to seats. Call 877-RED SOX 9 or visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Now Joe Girardi going as long as he could with his reliever, and David Phelps, who came on for Michael Pineda, who was ejected from this game. So the pitching change from Fenway. Matt Thornton making his way in. 4-0 Red Sox. ejected. 4-0 Red Sox. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. And in is Matt Thornton, former lefty for the Red Sox, who appears in his 10th game of the year. 2.70 earned run average, 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. And opponent sitting at 267. Goes to work on both cleats, retying them both as he comes in a 2nd and 3rd 2-out situation to deal with Mike Carp. Carp 0 for 2. He's flied out to left and struck out swinging. And a swing and a miss. Fastball up from Thornton.
94 miles an hour for Matt Thornton. We saw him, of course, as you mentioned, Don, in a Red Sox uniform. Hard thrower.
He's the only major leaguer to make at least 55 appearances in each of his last 9 seasons, starting 2005 and going through last year.
It's being pretty durable, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and he had some very good years with the White Sox. Signed by the Yankees as a free agent, got a 2-year deal with New York. Two and 1 the count to Carp. Combined between Chicago and Boston last year at a 3.74 earned run average. 60 relief outings last year between the 2 locations. Carp fouls it back. Count evens at 2-2.
And tough pitch right there for Carp. A fastball at 95 right in on the hands. Carp able to foul it off, but pretty tough pitch to handle right there.
Jammed and a pop-up that will land foul. Got it all lined up. Just didn't go the way he wanted. Popped up foul, backing out of play. Sizemore struck out to begin the inning. Pedroia single to right. A walk for Ortiz. For Napoli grounded out to the third baseman, Kelly Johnson. So it is 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs and a count of 2-2 to Mike Carp. Strike 3 call. So Thornton gets his job done. Comes in and strands 2 inherited runners. We'll get the list when we come back.
as it worked out, and John Farrell came out to point it out to home plate umpire and crew chief Jerry Davis. Checked the glove, and they checked the neck, and it's Pintar, and he was ejected from the game. That was after an inning and 2/3 for Pineda. As you look at his numbers, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. Inning and 2/3, 4 hits and 2 runs, and ejected with Pintar on his neck. As John Lackey back out there for the 5th inning. 7 strikeouts for him. He's allowed 3 hits and no runs. Bottom third of the Yankees order. Brett Gardner, Brian Roberts, and Kelly Johnson about in the inning. Gardner struck out in the 2nd inning. In there for strike 2. To right field, in comes Sizemore, and he will not catch it. Grabs it on a hop, as it is a base hit for Brett Gardner, 4th hit for New York. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. Lead runner on here for New York, and Brett Gardner. It's the first time since the 3rd inning the Yankees have had the lead runner on. Brian Roberts was that lead runner with an infield hit back in the 3rd. It's a pop-up left side that has Bogarts on the outfield grass for the first out of the inning. Well, our list tonight involves top Red Sox center fielders. Agree, disagree? Give us your opinion at #NessonList. Dominic DiMaggio, Jacoby Ellsbury, Fred Lynn, and Tris Speaker.
Pretty good list right there.
Yes. Well, you played along with Fred Lynn, who was very, very good center fielder. Often wonder if Fred had spent his entire career in Boston, what that resume would have looked like.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think that if he had played his entire career as a member of the Boston Red Sox, that he probably might have ended up in the Hall of Fame. I think probably would have ended up in the Hall of Fame, because this park was really built for Fred, and I think the motivation that came from playing here for him, I thought, brought him to different levels. And I mean, he could do everything. He could swing the bat. He could play center field. He ran the bases well. That's just my personal opinion, and I've always felt that way.
Kelly Johnson batting here and taking the ball, 1-1. It's amazing how some guys bring their game to another level playing here, and other guys can't play here.
Yep, and the Red Sox are always looking for those who can play here.
To right, struck well. Sizemore going back, and it's going to get over his head. And that one hops up into the bullpen. Ground rule double, 2nd and 3rd. Kelly Johnson, the line drive to right, quickly up over Sizemore.
Yeah, that ball hit very hard by Kelly Johnson, and it looked like Grady got turned a little bit the wrong way in the outfield, and by the time he was able to regroup, that ball's going to be over his head because it was hit so hard. See him turning the back toward the other way. Now, this is very difficult for Sizemore. We mentioned this last night, the fact that this guy is a center fielder, and he's been asked, because of injuries, to play different spots, left field, right field, and it's not that easy to move over to those positions.
Second and 3rd now for New York. First time they've had a base runner to 3rd base. Ellsbury, did he go? No, he did not, says Quinn Walcott. I think the toughest thing is the jump, perhaps, where you cannot see from right and left.
From center field down, we've talked about this often. You get to see the pitch, the location of the pitch, because you're directly behind the pitcher, and that certainly helps you get a jump on the baseball. And I think any outfielder will tell you that center field, you get the best look at the contact and where the pitch is. And it's a little bit different in the corners.
In there for a strike, 2-1. Ellsbury does not have a hit tonight. He's grounded to short and struck out swinging in his 2 at-bats. Evens at 2-2.
Plus on the corners, you're dealing with a lot of balls that are either slicing away from you or going in a different direction. For example, a right-hander on a ball hit to Grady Sizemore is probably going to slice toward the foul line. Where in center field, of course, you read that pitch that might be away, and you get a little better jump on it heading in that direction.
You could argue this is the toughest right field in the game.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be much of an argument there with anybody who plays that position.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout of Ellsbury right there. It's 8 Ks for John Lackey. 2 down.
Breaking ball from Lackey, looks like a slider that time, and picks up the strikeout against Ellsbury, so the crowd loves it. Jacoby leaves 2 men in scoring position.
Lincoln Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 strikeouts tonight for Ellsbury, 0 for 3. As Derek Jeter now stands in. He is 0 for 2, grounding out to first and striking out swinging. Strike 1. Look out. Jeter, who always kind of dives in anyway, had to pull back out of the way of that.
Now this fastball getting away from Lackey had pretty good velocity. And Jeter, the late reaction right there to get out of the way. After the fastball up and in, Lackey goes to that fastball down and away, hoping Jeter would bite after it, but he didn't.
Lackey tonight has thrown 73 pitches, 53 for strikes, 73% strikes tonight for John Lackey. And a foul off to the right, 2-2. Well, Nesson is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for our new Red Sox pregame show on select Sunday road games. Nesson Clubhouse, where kids run the show. Visit Nesson.com/clubhouse sweepstakes to enter your son or daughter's team. The experience includes a pizza party before and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be an active part of the studio audience. Second and third, 2 down. And a 2-2 pitch coming to the Yankees captain, Derek Jeter. Stays alive.
Red Sox shifted over toward right field, especially with 2 strikes on Jeter, as Lackey stays with that fastball on the 2-2 count.
Carlos Beltran on deck for New York. Jeter fouls off another, and this at bat will see a 7th pitch.
Fastball after fastball after fastball from Lackey.
Cheater lines it foul down the right field line towards Canvas Alley. On the ground right side, Pedroia plays the high hop, throws Jeter out, and the Yankees strand a pair in scoring position. Halfway through this one, it's 4-0 Boston. As we get ready for the bottom of the 5th inning, and Matt Thornton back on the mound. Wow, Joseph Abboud will be happy with that endorsement. Thank you. A.J. Pierzynski leading it off and taking a strike over the inside corner. A.J. has been on twice tonight. A single and a walk. He's driven in a run. Thought about it. Did he go? No. So it's Quentin Walcott, third base umpire. Fouled off to the left, 1-2. A.J. Pierzynski's favorites. Enjoyed South Africa. Wants to go to Australia. Dumb and Dumber's favorite movie. Jimmy Buffett, favorite artist, and anything fast food works for AJ.
Was A.J. Brzezinski catching Matt Thornton, as a member of Chicago White Sox.
In the air down the left field line, Soriano, and backpedaling is Johnson. Third baseman Johnson makes the catch for the first out here of the 5th inning.
And Don, while you were out cooking today, I was with the crew here, or some of the crew anyway. And Joe Stafford to the left, Chris, that's an A2. You want to be an A2. Teddy, our robo guy, and Marky Mark, also an A2, and which job you want. And Clammy. As well, just hanging out with the crew a little bit.
Wow. How did I miss this? Was this a meeting or something? Were you having a meeting?
Just talking with the guys, and they didn't really want to be in a picture, but I asked them to, and they were kind to get in. We have a great crew here that works for us in Boston, so.
Looks like a meeting to me. I mean, I think there was a meeting that went on in this booth today without me.
Well, every once in a while I do get together with about 5 or 6 at a time.
You called a meeting, didn't you?
Yeah, just to have a little meeting, and I don't like to gather the whole group together. I could if I would, but they were spread out all over the place. So we just got the guys that were in the booth at the time, and they were all working very hard. They were reluctant to take a picture, but I said I need to get something on the air like Don's View. So
you did it.
I went for the crew.
Very nice, and they are the best crew.
I know that your life ambition after you're done announcing is to become an A2, and
yeah, I think it'd be a fun job.
Yeah,
have a chance to be at the ballpark every day. And I enjoy the audio side so much. This pitch fouled off down the right field line, 2-2.
So that's why we had 2 A2s in there with Chris and Marky Mark. So.
Looks like a fun job, doesn't it? An A2?
Yeah, I mean it's something you got to learn. I mean, you just don't go from being an announcer to an A2. But
no, I know. You come in, you got to do sound checks. That's the first thing they do.
Yeah,
they check the microphones, make sure they sound all right. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I have to go to training.
You need a training period.
Yes, several years.
You just don't jump from this to being
all of a sudden show up and say, now I'm an A2.
I'm an audio guy. It doesn't work that way. But they all work very, very hard. Yes. And braving the elements tonight.
Chris Nicini, Mark Wilcox, and of course our grade A1 Pete Grenier. Back to the mound as Thornton will flip to first to retire Bogarts. 2 down here in the 5th inning. Brock Holt coming up. Holt has fly to center and walked. 2 plate appearances so far tonight. Bouncing in for ball 1. Spent time on the DL last year with the left oblique strain. That was while he was here in Boston. That one's by him at 95. Throwing hard. 1-1. It's only been 1-2-3 inning for Yankees pitching tonight in the game. That was the 2nd inning, and it was both Pineda and Phelps combining. And as Thornton falls behind now, 3-1. More action for New York. A right-hander up in the pen as Preston Claiborne. As they try to piece together this game. Pineda ejected after an inning and 2/3. Ball 4 to Brock Holt. Down to first base he goes. Well, if you're a Red Sox and Bruins fans, you surely will want to follow us on Instagram. And that's an Instagram account is another unique way to see all the cool happenings behind the scenes of your favorite teams. Follow us on Instagram and let all things Red Sox, Bruins, and NESN come to you. 2 outs, Brock Holt at first base. Jackie Bradley Jr. the batter. Bradley has flied to left and struck out swinging from his number 9 spot. It's already the 10th appearance for Thornton in 21 Yankees games. Last appeared on Sunday in Tampa Bay. And starting there was Holt. He got a little bit of a jump. Thornton noticed and stepped off. Fly ball left field. Soriano moving back to make the catch in front of the track that ends the inning. We are through 5 from Fenway. Red Sox on top 4-0. We'll talk pop-ups when we come back. Delivered right to your office. Who do you call for the flavors you want and prices you'll savor? Who but W.B. Mason? 4-0. Red Sox on top of the Yankees as we head into the 6th inning. Carlos Beltran takes strike 1 from John Lackey. John's next pitch will be the 80th of his outing. And it's in the air to right center field. Struck well. Back goes Sizemore towards the pen and it'll one-hop the wall. Sizemore plays it off the wall, and to second base goes Beltran. Jackie Bradley Jr. was also back there, kind of whiffed on the ball coming off the wall, but Sizemore picked it up, and Beltran's got his second hit of the night.
Yeah, single on a breaking ball back in the 1st inning, and a breaking ball again right here is going to find that gap between Sizemore and Jackie Bradley Jr. The bobble out there by Bradley really didn't make much of a difference. It was going to be 2 bases regardless for Beltran. So Beltran off to a very nice start for the New York Yankees.
Brian McCann 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th inning. A single to left field. Third inning of 6, the Yankees have had the lead runner on. This is chopped back to the mound softly. Lackey with one play, a soft toss to first for the out. As Beltran takes third base, 1 out. Alfonso Soriano coming up has struck out twice. 2 of the 8 strikeouts for John Lackey so far in this game. There's a wrapper halfway to the mound. They're waiting for it to blow away. It does. Well, it gets to third base. Brock Holt will try to catch it. Wind gusting tonight at Fenway Park. Soriano with a wild swing and a miss.
That's twice Soriano has struck out on fastballs tonight, and Lackey pretty much has kept the ball away from him all night long. First fastball away, and Soriano chasing it.
Fly ball struck well to right center field. Back goes Bradley Jr. and Sizemore, and it's Sizemore in front of the wall as Beltran will tag and jog home with the Yankees' first run of the night. Sac fly for Soriano on a drive to right field. Started to center, but the wind took it out to right center, and Sizemore makes the catch. Beltran scoring, and it's now 4-1.
When the ball left the bat, I thought it might have a chance to be a home run because of the way how hard the wind is blowing, but Sizemore still had about 3 or 4 steps before getting to the wall. But the Yankees do pick up their first run of the night. Soriano picking up his 8th RBI of the season.
Teixeira punched at it for strike 1. He has struck out twice tonight, once looking, once swinging. Fouls this one off A.J. Pierzynski. Swing and a miss, and Teixeira has struck out for the 3rd time tonight. 9 Ks for Lackey. The Yankees get a run. 4-1 Boston.
But Shane Victorino back up here with the Red Sox after his rehab stint down in Pawtucket, and we may have seen him tonight if it wasn't for the call-up of Alex Wilson making room in that 25-man roster. But John Farrell saying earlier today that Victorino might be activated for tomorrow. He went on to add that when he is potentially activated tomorrow, that Jackie Bradley Jr. will stay in center field. He likes the way he's been playing defense, so Victorino probably right there in his right field position in one of the corners, as well as Grady Sizemore assuming the other one. Left field there. And guys, we're through 5 innings, so it's official. David Ortiz tied all-time list. Most starts at DH.
It ties Harold Baines, 1,643 starts in that capacity. Top of the order, Grady Sizemore, 4th at bat of the night, 1 for 3. Dealing with the new Yankees pitcher, Preston Claiborne, into the game now for New York. We've seen Phelps and Thornton in relief of Pineda. 2 innings against the Rays, giving up no runs, 1 hit. Sizemore tripled and scored in the first inning, struck out in the second, struck out in the fourth.
Change up that time from Claiborne. 87 miles an hour, a little tail on it, away from the left-handed hitter Sizemore.
Last year, Claiborne making his major league debut with the Yankees was 0-2 with a 4.11 earned run average. 44 relief appearances in 4 different stints with New York. Spent a lot of the year with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees AAA squad. Defensive swing by Sizemore, who fouls it off. I want to remind you to follow every Red Sox game with MLB.com at bat on your phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download from the App Store or visit RedSox.com today. Sizemore, Pedroia, and Ortiz, the trio here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Down the right field line towards the pole, and that ball is foul to the right of the pole.
Sizemore has that type of swing where you're probably going to see a few of those this year, that he wraps around that pole in right field. Likes to hook the ball, and that ball hooked, but in foul territory, not by that much. Heading down that right field line, but as you can clearly see, left to the pole.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball at 92 miles an hour. Now, this Toyota Game Break is brought to you by buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. Here it is, 4-1. Red Sox on top of the Yankees as Dustin Pedroia bats with 1 out. And a fly ball at Jacoby Ellsbury in center field. 2 down. I think the Orioles are going to hit some home runs this year, Jerry.
Yeah, they got some power in that lineup. That's a very good lineup they got, and Cruz has really added something to it.
Well, David Ortiz in his 1,643rd game as a DH, tying the major league record for Harold Baines. David will have a chance to move ahead tomorrow night, game 3 of the series here against New York. Red Sox and Yankees playing here tomorrow night to wrap up the Red Sox homestand. Felix Gibran matched up against CC Sabathia, battle of lefties here tomorrow night. And then it is on to Toronto for a 3-game series for Boston. On the ground, shift is on. Kelly Johnson, the third baseman, throws to first to retire Ortiz. Sox down in order, but enjoy a 4-1 lead. Strike to recall, and Lackey off to a good start.
Lackey right now all over the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout of Ellsbury right there. It's 8 Ks for John Lackey. It's on to the top of the 7th inning as Brett Gardner fouls off the first pitch. John Lackey's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Tickets. 6 innings, 6 hits, a run, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. He's thrown 88 pitches in his outing tonight. Strikeout high in the season had been 6, done 3 times on the year for John. His 90th pitch. Framed there by Brzezinski, but called a ball, 1-1. Well, after 2 tough outings in a row, very nice outing tonight for John Lackey. He had lost against these Yankees in a 5 2/3 innings effort, giving up 6 runs. And then last time, 6 runs to the Orioles. It was ground ball to Pedroia. A grass cutter. Throws out Gardner for the first out here of the 7th inning.
Yeah, those are the kind you like to go down on one knee, because you're right, they are grass cutters. They don't bounce at all. And when you see one of those as a middle infielder, especially at second base, you go down on that one knee to make sure it doesn't skip through. Very little bounce to that baseball.
1 out in the 7th inning for Brian Roberts.
I've had a few grass cutters find the 5-hole on me a few times. Not to the delight of the pitcher very much.
On the ground, this will get through into right field. And Roberts has his 2nd hit of the night. 1 out single for Brian Roberts. Well, sports can bring you to the edge of your seat and to your feet. It should always bring you to NESN.com, the region's #1 sports site with comprehensive Red Sox coverage and the most Bruins content in New England. Get live blogs, video, and podcast found only on NESN.com. 1 out, 1 on for Kelly Johnson. And Juan Nieves on the phone. We've not seen action in the pen tonight. In the dirt, gathered by Pierzynski. First up in the Boston pen will be Andrew Miller, and this is his first warm-up toss. Johnson takes the strike. Kelly Johnson reaching on a fielder's choice in the third. He doubled in the fifth. On the ground, foul, wide of first. Yeah, the Red Sox had scored 2 runs in the first inning in the first 21 games of the year. But tonight, the Red Sox get 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning to set the tone and jumped out to the 4-0 advantage. And they're getting some early offensive output. Grounded foul.
Lackey's had a very good fastball in this ball game all night long, and the location of it has been the key. He's been inside when he's wanted to be. He's been outside when he's wanted to be.
Time called. A whole series of wrappers have made their way across the infield.
They're just big snowflakes.
Strike 3 call. 10th strikeout of the night for John Lackey.
And there's that fastball again, this time knee high. Middle of the plate, knee high fastball for the strikeout. A take by Kelly Johnson.
A breakdown for Lackey. 74% strikes on the night. 2 down. Roberts gains his lead at first, and Jacoby Ellsbury with his 4th at bat of the night. Fly ball, foul off to the left. It's time out for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag NESSANFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Mike and his girlfriend with Wally. I wonder if they've done the Wally wave here at Fenway Park with Wally. Now, if they're friends with Wally.
You know that's his girlfriend? Or?
Yes, that's what the copy says. That's his girlfriend.
Well, it could have been his wife, or just maybe another lady that was walking by.
Careful. Careful, careful. 100th pitch of the night for John Lackey. Is chopped to first. Napoli waits for it to come down. Backpedals and tags the bag. 7th inning stretch from Fenway. It's 4-1. Red Sox have the lead. now specializes in delivering an all-star selection of janitorial supplies same day. That's 4-1. Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. On to the bottom of the 7th inning. Preston Claiborne with his 2nd inning of relief. And a 1-2-3 6th inning, getting Sizemore, Pedroia, and Ortiz. Napoli, Karp, and Pierzynski expected here in the 7th. Napoli singled in the 1st, doubled in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 4th inning. Napoli tried to hold up, but he offers. Foul tip, 2-2. In the air to deep left field for Napoli. It is going to be high off the wall. Soriano plays it quickly, and it's a long single for Napoli. His 3rd hit of the night.
A base hit on a breaking ball back in the 1st inning, a double, a drive, and a run in the 3rd, and now a line shot off near the top of the wall. Top hand line drive that time by Napoli. That's the only thing they kept it in the ballpark.
Most ballparks, that is gone.
Yes, absolutely gone. Here, a long single.
Now Mike Karp. 0 for 3 tonight. He's fly to left, struck out twice. To right field. Gardner started back, now comes in and makes the catch for the 1st out of the inning. Well, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, tomorrow at 6:30. Get your preview of Felix Dubron, and also check in with the Red Sox Clubhouse Insider. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Mike Karp retired for the 1st out of the 7th inning, and A.J. Pierzynski, the batter. He has singled, walked, and popped out. AJ calls time, backs out, gets it from Jerry Davis. Outside for ball 2. Preston Claiborne came into this game in the 6th inning. Relinquished his 1st hit of his appearance. The single by Napoli to begin the inning. Mike still at 1st with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runner goes, a swing and a miss. A little hit and run, and it turns out that when Pierzynski cannot make contact, Napoli's thrown out second base. So they tried something and the action count didn't work out.
Yeah, it's about the second or third time this year they have tried the hit and run with Brzezinski at the plate, and this time no contact by Brzezinski, and of course Napoli out by quite a distance at second base. Brzezinski is the guy that John Farrell has put that play on a few occasions so far this season.
In the air to right field, Brett Gardner makes the catch. It ends the inning. We're through 7 at Fenway. It's 4-1 Boston. It's been a 10 strikeout night for John Lackey through the first 7 innings. Grounded back to him. Throws out Jeter for the first out of the 8th inning. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse. TC and Dennis Eckersley. The Sox will take on CC Sabathia tomorrow night. Also check in on the MLB Notebook. That's tomorrow. It all starts at 6 on NESN.
That's a great pitch by Lackey there. Again, staying away from Jeter, but this time with the breaking ball. Remember last time it was all fastballs away. And this time Lackey went to a breaking ball and picked up the same result, a ground ball to the right side. he's had that kind of location all night long.
This is the longest outing he's had on the season. The previous longest had been 7 innings in the win against Texas. That was back on the 7th of April. The last 2 outings have been 5 2/3 and 5 1/3, but here he is 7 1/3 deep now with 1 out in the 8th. Beltran fouls it off. He has singled, grounded out, and doubled, scored a run. He and Brian Roberts both have multi-hit nights for New York. Strike 3 call, making 11 Ks for John Lackey.
I tell you, this is really a beautiful thing to watch tonight from John Lackey. He is on the corners right here. As I mentioned a few innings earlier, if he wants to go away, he goes away to the corner. If he wants to come inside, he comes inside. This has been one heck of a performance tonight by John Lackey.
Ryan McCann with 2 outs. It's a ground ball foul outside of first. Lackey's career high in strikeouts is 12. Last time he did it was June 26th of last year. That was against Colorado. Bounces in, a ball and a strike now to Brian McCann.
That changeup, one of the very few that he's thrown in this ball game tonight. He hasn't really had to. He's had such a good fastball.
In the air to center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. moves over and puts it away. A 1-2-3 top of the 8th, the 4-1 Red Sox lead.
Rockies, he picked up 3 strikeouts. Soriano, Teixeira, and Gardner all on fastballs. And that was also the same inning that the Red Sox and John Farrell found a little pine tar on the neck of Pineda. And eventually Pineda ejected from the ball game. The Red Sox in the second inning did not pick up a run, but got 2 in the first, 2 in the third.
Four to 1, Red Sox have the lead, and a pitch up and in to Xander Bogaerts. Tonight's game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Beltran with a couple of hits for New York. The Red Sox getting Great pitching tonight from John Lackey. 11 strikeouts in 8 innings of work, giving up just the 1 run. Bogarts with a swing and a miss, 1-1. Lackey, a terrific night tonight. He gets handshakes all the way around.
Yeah, John Lackey was a man on a mission tonight after his last 2 outings, which did not sit well with him. And you could tell right from the first inning on that he had very good stuff in this ball game tonight.
Ended up throwing 111 pitches. 84 strikes of the 111 pitches he threw. Well, stay tuned tonight following WBX innings for Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. TC and Eck will have reaction to the Lackey start, and they will preview tomorrow night's Felix Dubron CC Sabathia matchup. Two to Bogarts. Foul back, will do it again.
Bogarts right now with a 6-game hitting streak on the line. Red Sox wouldn't mind 99 a couple more before they head to the 9th.
On the ground, a lot of spin on it. From third, Johnson with a throw that gets away. Goes into the photographer's row. They'll give second base to Xander Bogarts. Should be a hit and an error, and he should extend that hitting streak.
I would agree with you, Don. I think that should go as a base hit. A barehanded play by Kelly Johnson. Then the throw not even close to first base. That's going to allow Bogarts to get in the scoring position. That ball was rolling pretty hard to make a barehanded play on it. And you could see that Bogarts was right at the bag when the ball was thrown wildly at first base.
Well, Shane Victorino cheering from the Red Sox dugout. Likely back in action tomorrow night. Xander Bogarts does extend that hitting streak. Infield hit. Error charge to Johnson on the throw. It's now a 7-gamer for Xander. Here's Brock Holt. Grounded down the first base line, foul.
Well, Brock Holt's been swinging the bat. The Red Sox do not put the bunt on with nobody out and the man on second base. They give him a chance to swing away on that first pitch.
Down 0-2 now.
And Claiborne has a nice little changeup. 83 miles an hour. He's thrown it quite often in this game. Yankee bullpen has done a very good job keeping this game manageable.
They have more action in the pen. Adam Warren is up. Preston Claiborne has been in since the 6th inning and he's given up 2 hits. His 0-2 pitch to Brock Holt. In the air down the left field line. Soriano towards the seats, but he won't have a play. Well, tune in tonight to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Sarah and Elle. Bruins game plan for coming up for Game 4. Look at the just released Pats schedule. It's already out. See what know-how can do. Koji Uehara getting ready for the 9th inning, which will include Alfonso Soriano, Mark Teixeira, Brett Gardner scheduled to bat. 5, 6, and 7 for New York. Line into right center field, a base hit for Holt. Xander Bogarts being waved around. Throw from Gardner in right goes to second, and the Red Sox take a 5-1 lead. Brock Holt with an RBI single that gives the Red Sox a little bit more breathing room.
Well, thinking along with John Farrell, I mean, why bunt a guy that's swinging the bat as well right now as Brock Holt is? He gets that fastball, hooks it into the gap, drives in a run, picks up his 4th RBI, extends the hitting streak to 6 games, and gives the Red Sox a 5-1 cushion.
Joe Girardi out to make the change as the Red Sox add another run. That's the night for Claiborne. It's 5-1 Red Sox. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a free Red Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Tonight we welcome Byfield Little League from Newbury, Massachusetts in historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. Five to 1, Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. New York on to their 5th pitcher of the night as Jackie Bradley Jr. Check at first and Holt back to the bag. Adam Warren comes in for New York. Right-hander into his 10th appearance. 0-1 with a 2.79 earned run average. 9 Ks to 4 walks, and opponents hitting at 194 against Warren. Bradley looking for his first hit of the night. He has flied to left, struck out, and flied to left again. Warren last worked on Sunday against Tampa Bay, went an inning and 2/3 against the Rays. Throw to first, and that was a little closer that time.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a lean that time by Brock Holt down there at first base. Let's see. A lot of the weight on his right foot, which a lot of the times will tell you that when you have that kind of weight shift, you may be taking off at second base.
Warren last year made 37 appearances, 2 starts for New York at a 3.39 earned run average. 2 different stints with the Yankees. Bradley hits it on the ground to first base. Teixeira goes to second for 1, back to first, and it's not dug out. Reaching is Bradley. Holt is out at second. 3-6 on the force out there.
That Teixeira makes that play very well, and the reason he does that is because he has very quick feet for a big guy. Watch how he spins around and makes that accurate throw to the third base side of the infield, which clears Jeter to give him a return throw to first base. Unfortunately, fortunately for the Red Sox, it was not in time as Bradley Jr. was hustling all the way down the line. But you see the angle of the throw. Keep it away from the back of the runner.
One out, one on.
I got my unfortunately and fortunately's messed up that time.
Sizemore triple back in the first inning, scored the game's first run. Since then has struck out 3 times. A 1-for-4 night. Ground ball picked by Warren. He goes to second, and it is not fielded by Jeter. In and out of the glove. Bad throw from Adam Warren. Another chance for the Yankees to turn a double play, and they can't do it.
Yeah, the Yankees have not looked very good defensively in this ball game tonight by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, the first job for the pitcher here is to just get it out and get that out at second base and leave it up to the shortstop and second baseman to turn a double play. That ball bounced to Jeter right there. Then he has to get out of the way of Jackie Bradley Jr., who was sliding in hard to try to break up a double play.
So the error charge to Adam Warren, the pitcher. 3 miscues on the night for New York. And it's first and second with 1 out for Dustin Pedroia. 2 hits tonight, both singles, 1 to center, 1 to right. He's driven in a run. David Ortiz getting ready on deck. Outside for ball 2. Three and 1. Koji Uehara continuing to warm in the Boston pen. Generally, when he warms up, he's coming in. Save situation or not. Just the way it works. He gets up, he's coming in. No longer a safe situation at the moment with the Red Sox adding a run in the 8th. Pedroia hits it to short. Could be 2 this time. The second for 1, on to first. It is 2. We head to the 9th inning. Boston on top, 5-1. It's Koji time. the new Scion TC, Sullivan Tire and Auto Services, your New England Ford dealers, and by Southwest Airlines. Well, a chilly night at Fenway Park, cold and windy, but the Red Sox enjoy a 5-1 lead as we head to the 9th inning. And on for Boston, the closer in a non-save situation, Koji Uehara. His 8th appearance of the year. He's not given up a run in save opportunities, 4 for 4, 11 Ks to 1 walk. And opponents hitting at 154 against Uehara. Now Alfonso Soriano to lead it off, and he takes strike 1. Soriano has struck out twice in a sac fly in the 6th inning, picked up his 8th RBI of the year. Fouled off to the right, out of play. What a night for John Lackey. 8 innings, 1 run, and 11 strikeouts and no walks. Lackey is one of 3 Red Sox pitchers in the last 100 seasons with 11 strikeouts and 0 walks against the Yankees in a game. Joins Jim Lonborg and Pedro Martinez in that category. Pedro did it twice. This is to left, struck pretty well by Soriano. It is up and off the wall. Gomes will quickly retrieve it. Wide turn for Soriano, a long single. Throwback in got away from Pedroia, but it's the first hit of the night for Soriano.
You got to think back, Don, about Lackey and has he had a better performance in a Red Sox uniform? I mean, he was so good right from pitch number 1 in this ball game tonight. As we look at Soriano's single, off the wall. Johnny Gomes playing it off the wall and holding Soriano to the single, but his fastball is exceptional tonight. His location was impeccable.
And after the Red Sox starters have not gone deeply into games, it was exactly what they needed from him tonight. And it gives him 8 innings, 111 pitches to get him 8 against the Yankees. 11 strikeouts, the most by a Red Sox pitcher since Tim Wakefield. 12 Ks, and that was back in 2005. September the 11th of 2005. Shift on here is Teixeira. Swings and misses. That's the 4th time tonight Mark Teixeira has struck out. And we talked about how much the bullpen has been used the last 2 games, and look at some of these numbers. And they were certainly taxed, and there were some good outings mixed in there. Chris Capuano for 1, 2 1/3 innings did a very good job. Well, they called up Alex Wilson in case today. They had to get back into that pen early in the game, and they did not, as John Lackey gives him 8. There's Brett Gardner. Gardner singled back in the 5th inning, a 1 for 3 night. Yes, he takes strike 1. That fastball at 86 miles an hour. No success for Gardner against Uehara. Well, don't miss WB Extra Innings tonight right after the game. Tom Karanek will have the star of the game. Check in with John Farrell's post-game. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. CC Sabathia going here tomorrow night against Felix Dubron. One, two. And a swing and a miss. Gardner strikes out back-to-back Ks for Koji.
Both strikeouts for Uehara in this inning, coming on the split-fingered fastball. Getting ahead in the count with the fastball, using the splitter to put him away. Good split-fingered fastball can cause some ugly swings.
Ryan Roberts, the Yankees' second baseman, has 2 hits in the game as he takes strike 1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Splitter again from Oliara. I mean, you know he's got it. You know he's going to throw it. It's still hard to hit.
The 1-2 pitch. Hey, struck him out, and the Red Sox win. Boston comes away with a 5-1 win. Uehara ends up striking out the side, and Boston, in a much-needed victory tonight against the Yankees, take Game 2 of the series. Terrific pitching tonight from John Lackey, and a very good all-the-way around effort for Boston as they bang out 5 runs in this game on 10 hits. Well, Tom, a much better result tonight for the Red Sox, and for John Lackey, outstanding.